Demons testify. I know who you are, when we know you. You are the Holy One of God. Why are you here to torment us before time? Because in that garden, there was a wrestling match. Because once we declare his sinlessness, there are implications of his sinlessness. Because he is sinless, he is more sensitive to the presence of sin in ways you and I can never imagine. He is more affected by sin in its presence in ways that you cannot fathom, in ways that you cannot think. People speak of the sufferings of Christ in his flesh and in his humiliation, which is good, but they can never understand the suffering of Christ in his soul. They can never understand the sufferings of Christ, that sinless perfection has to tolerate the presence of sin. That in the Garden of Gethsemane, he who knew no sin became sin. Corinthians 5:21. And for he who knew no sin became sin, that we might be made the righteousness of God. And for he who did not even know sin became sin. And in the garden, holiness is wrestling with sin. And as holiness is wrestling with sin, it puts such a strain on the body. It puts such stress on the body that it begins to physically affect him. And as he's toiling and as he's laboring, he's beginning to sweat because he's working very hard. But now this toil is so much that the Holy One of God is about to become sin. And as the Holy One of God is about to become sin, his body is so affected that even his sweat becomes blood. I said he did not pray with them, but when they tried, Harry, keep watch. In his holiness, as he is praying, they fall asleep because flesh cannot stand in his presence. I mean, come on, keep watch. When he goes a bit further for their sake, he's going a bit further for their sake. They fall asleep because no flesh can glory in his presence. And then Judas comes with the soldiers. When the soldiers come, he stands up, they all fall down. They stand up again. He looks at them. They all fall down because Jesus, if he wanted to, they were not gonna take him. Jesus, if he really wanted to, they were not gonna do anything because of the proximity of holiness wrestling with sin. When they approach him, they fall down. So much was the weight of man's sin upon him that when men even approach, they collapse because Jesus is the only one who can bear the burden. Jesus is the face of an ox, the beast of burden. He is able to carry burdens. He is able to carry a heavy load. He is able to carry affliction. He is able to carry temptations. He is a beast of burden. I know who you are, the Holy One of God. I know who you are. When he entered the city, the demon cried, "Hey, what have I to do with thee, Jesus of Nazareth?" You Holy One of God, are you here to torment us? He is so holy, he's tormenting the demons. Demons are not afraid of fire. They're afraid of holiness. They're afraid of holiness. Demons fought with angels who are flames of fire. But now Jesus, he is so holy. Your holiness is tormenting us. Listen, you are not moving deliverance. You are not cast out devils. Live a holy life, Baba. Live a holy life, Baba. You don't need to fast and pray. You just need to live a sanctified life. We know who thou art, the Holy One of God. And all of mankind has been proclaiming this holiness since time immemorial. Even on that fateful night, Pilate's wife awakes from a dream and he says, hey, have nothing to do with this just man. Even Pilate's wife has to testify that this is a just man. Do nothing with him. Because Pilate, in his heart, he was going to set Jesus free. Pilate, in his heart, had determined that no matter what these guys are going to say, there is no way I can condemn such an innocent man. There is no way. And then Jesus, seeing that Pilate will not let me die. Hey, Pilate is about to interrupt a divine assignment. Pilate is about to interrupt an eternal covenant that the Father covenanted with his Son since time immemorial. So Jesus, the giver of dreams, as is being tempted, visits Pilate's wife on that same night. It has nothing to do with this just man. And because of a dream, Pilate's wife, or Pilate, have nothing to do with this just man. What does Pilate do? He washes his hands. This is the sign of imputing the sin of the world. He's washing his hands. So our sin was upon him. Our sin was imputed upon him. On that cross, that faithful cross, even people who were accused with him, his co-accused, if this man has done nothing wrong, that he should be here with us. I'm talking about the sinless Messiah, that even other criminals, they cry out, but if this man is innocent, they are not crying for their own freedom, they are not declaring their own innocence, they are about to die, but he must declare that this one is totally without sin. Even the one who's torturing him, who took the spear, and pierced him, he testifies. History tells us that he had an eye patch. History tells us, but when he pierced him on the side, forthwith came out blood and water. It fell on him, his eyesight opened, and then he declared, surely this is the Son of God. Even the ones who are persecuting, even the ones who are tempting, even the ones who are torturing him are declaring, surely this is the Son of God. For he made him to become sin, who knew no sin, that we might be made the righteousness of God. I'm talking about the sinless one. I'm talking about the immutable one. I'm talking about the one who ever liveth to make intercession for the saints. I am talking about the Jesus of the Bible. I am talking about the Upogramos.